Hi guys, it's me Stephen Openshaw again. I just thought I'd pop in and say hi. Yeah, just been up all night again, doing a bit of networking as usual. You know, I've just seen on some of my other videos, you know, I've been talking about the struggle with shyness, and as you may or may not realise, when the more recent videos I'm getting more and more confident each time I do this, so I'm definitely making progress on my journey of I don't know how you describe it. It's personal development. It's about finding out, not reinventing myself. It's about being me, but without the barriers. I'll give you an example. You know, say I've got on my way to a job interview. You know, when I was younger, I'd be walking down there. You know, before I go, get myself suited and booted, looking sharp, all ready for it. You know, joke about how I'm going to nail this interview. In my head, I've thought about what I'm going to say, I've thought about how I'm going to do it, and it's all good. Drive there, bus there, whatever, get to the door, fine, nice, walk in, sit down at the desk, face to face with the potential boss, and boom, frozen. So, that's really the kind of thing that's been holding me back in life. You know, like I said in my last video, I can sit there blaming the family, blaming sibling, blaming bullies, but it's only me who's in control of how I you know, move forwards. Am I going to let it control my life, or am I going to take control of my life? And I think the problem is, for 35 years of my life, I've allowed it to control my life, and you know, everything I've done is been governed around those barriers that I've allowed to be put in place. You know, going back, you know, it is the case. You know, if you hear something enough times, you do start to believe it. And as you may know from my first video, what I've decided I'm going to do is sort of realise, you know, nobody said but the person to tell you those things that you then start to believe in can't be yourself. So yeah, I've also, you know, I've been discovering a lot of sort of breathing techniques that will help me overcome things and just help me, enable me to focus, you know. I've sort of thought about doing meditation, but I haven't gone as far as that yet, but it's definitely something I'm exploring. But what I found is, what I do each morning now is I take myself to a nice quiet place, I sit down, and I start off by taking some nice long deep breaths in, and you know, it's not through the mouth, it's through the nose, and it's not about, you know, building up the chest, it's about emptying the stomach, and then you tense the stomach. Okay, and I think you guys should try this because I found it really helpful. You count 10 seconds, then you breathe out slowly. Okay, now by the second, you need to do this around 10 times. By the second or third time you've done it, you need to start thinking about the things that have been negative for you. You know, all those voices that you've heard, whether it be friends, family, teachers. Okay, and then on the 10th one, I want you to really hold it. I want you to really think about those things, okay, and how they've affected you, okay, because a part of the healing is accepting that there was a problem, accepting what the problem was, and facing that problem. Now, what I tend to do once I've done that is I breathe out heavily into my hand, I screw my hand up, and I throw an imaginary ball and throw all that crap away. And you know what, it's funny because the first 2 times I did it, I thought, you know what, this is a bit silly. And you know what, at first I'd go as far as to say I was actually feeling a little bit worse afterwards, because I think I'd had to face the demons that I've been trying to pretend didn't exist, you know, because I think you just get into that natural comfort zone where you're so used to being told you're something that you've grown up believing you are that something. And the problem is, when you believe something is the case, that becomes your world. And if you're looking for those faults in yourself, then wherever you go, you will find examples that will validate that for you, because that's all you're allowing yourself to absorb. Now, what I've found as I've gone on and done it is the feeling I got at first, you know, it's just not as strong, you know. And it's funny because those thoughts and those words and those faces that really got to me as a person, that had put this crippling shyness on me, were really powerfully strong, stronger than I expected to. I mean, I'm a man, but I'm a man enough to admit that, yeah, I cried the first couple of times after. It was actually quite difficult, but it's something I needed to do. You know, everybody's got their own methods, but this is just one, you know, I think maybe I'd seen it somewhere before, so, you know, I just thought, give it a go. I mean, it's best to do it somewhere quiet anyway, because you know, you can't focus if you've got other noises going around you. So yeah, so what I'm noticing now is that I am believing myself a lot more, and my capabilities. I feel like this is a new chapter in my life. I don't feel like I've reinvented myself. I feel like I'm still me. But what I think is, if you think back to when you were a child, when you had all those aspirations, when you had, but I'm going to be this when I grow up, you know, all those stories, all that feeling that the world can be fun. The world is what you're going to make it, you know. And I'm finding that I am rediscovering that person, and that person who before going to interviews was so confident, so sure of what he was going to say, how he's going to conduct himself, how this time it's going to be different. The difference is that now when I'm conducting myself, I'm going full through. I'm not stopping at that barrier. There is no barrier holding me in place anymore. And that is getting more and more comfortable. It's still uncomfortable, but I'm doing it. And that's getting less and less uncomfortable each time I do it. So, yeah, that's just a short video I want to share with you, really. Just as I said, you do the exercise, and I'm sorry, the second part. The second part is what I've been doing to myself. Like I said in the first video, is nobody said it can't be yourself telling you the things that you then finally start to believe in. And as daft as it sounds, you know, I know they say the first sign of madness is when you start talking to yourself, but I found it actually a very powerful tool. So what I started doing is, it's not a case of standing in front of the mirror and say, you are smart, you're clever, you can do this. I think, you know, when you've got those confidence issues, you're always looking for something to validate those things. So that's when you start to pick apart your body. You know, I mean, I do have a squint. I have a squint inside. My eye tends to, well, my eye used to go in, but unfortunately after corrective surgery, overcompensation, my eye now goes out. So that's definitely been a big hang up for me for as many years as I can remember. I mean, certainly if you can imagine, school kids cannot be kind sometimes, and it was certainly noticed and pointed out. So, you know, and feeling embarrassment from family members, certain family members, was a big thing. That's something I couldn't even talk about, to be honest with you guys. The fact that I'm even briefly talking about it is a big step for me. So what I started off doing is about self-approval, okay? And again, if people who suffer from shyness or have hang-ups, this is something you can do. Once you've done those breathing, as I said, you breathe in, you're emptying your stomach, you're not filling up your chest and you're tensing your stomach, okay? And you're breathing in through your nose, okay? And then when you're breathing out slowly through your mouth, okay? And you're allowing those thoughts to enter your mind. And then as a sort of a symbolic gesture, you're breathing into the hand, the last one, you're screwing it up and you're throwing that away, okay? And I want you to stand up, go walk to a mirror, look in the mirror. Hold on a minute, sorry guys. I had to nip my son's glass because I haven't done the washing up, so other than my kids' cups, never mind. So anyway, walk to the mirror. I want you to look straight in that mirror. Now the first few times you do that, it's going to be hard. Okay? Now maybe to say, I want you to point out 5 things about your body you like might be a bit difficult to do. So maybe start off with 2. 1 isn't enough, at least 2, 3, preferably, leading up to 5 though, you know. And you know what, at first it might not be, oh, I've got amazing eyes, or I've got amazing lips, or I've got a nice smile. You know, it might not be that. It might start off with, well, my hair's alright, but you know what, that is actually a step forwards, because you're accepting there's a part of you that is perhaps acceptable, that isn't so bad. Okay, so that is a step forward. It might feel like a failure or cop out, but it's not. That is a step forward. You've acknowledged that there's something about you that's not too bad. Okay, you're not saying it's wonderful, you're not saying it's perfect, but you're accepting there's something about you that is acceptable. Okay, and then the more you do this, the more you realise, and I mean, when I say look, I mean really look, you know. I think so many times you're caught up in what people have said or what you think they've said. You've spent so much time focusing on yourself in a negative light that you're seeing the things to validate the thought process. And it's about changing the thought process to a positive thought process. And you know, you'll realise the more you look at the mirror, that actually there's a lot of good things about you. And then once you're on with that, or as an addition, you then start talking about your character traits. Look at yourself and you say, okay, I didn't do so well at school, I didn't apply myself, and maybe that was down to confidence and what have you, but you know what, I'm a great dad. I'm an amazing dad. I love my kids. My kids are my world and they know it. I'm a caring person. I'm a kind person. Some might say it's the same thing. I've got a nice smile. Some people say it looks a bit like a joker, but I'm ignoring that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm still only up to a few things. I think my physique is quite nice, you know. It's I've always been fortunate enough that I have a sort of athletic physique. So again, that's accepting there's something acceptable about me. And that actually got me on to thinking about a time when I was really positive about me, and that would have been between my between 19 and my mid to late 20s, when I was heavily involved in MMA and kickboxing. I was down the gym several times a week, and when I wasn't training, I was training children in the kickboxing and Muay Thai and some of the ninjutsu as well. So that was a time in my life that I was confident for 2 reasons. First of all, because I could look in the mirror and I could say, you know what, Steve, that beer belly you had, that, you know, that double chin, it's all gone now. Look at you, looking good, my friend. And that was a good time for me. And then it was the giving back, you know, to be training a child, and to see them go from where they started, to see them taking their gradings and passing their gradings, and knowing and seeing the self-approval on their faces, to see the joy on their faces when, and the pride when they achieve that, the next belt or the next band up. You know, it's giving back, and it's quite an amazing feeling. And the only other thing that's made me have that kind of feeling is when, for a period of time, I was a community healthcare worker. You know, I started that job just as a fill-in job because there just wasn't anything in my area. Well, I trained, spent all my time learning to be, getting qualifications to do, to find there's no work. Ended up doing community care work, but you know what? I have no complaints. That actually made me a very content man for a while. because I had the kickboxing and the Muay Thai, I had the training for kids, and I had this job where every single day I was coming home and I'd give them back. And I think that for me has got to be the key, isn't it? You know, it's about finding who you are as a person. My kids might disagree when it comes to sweeties because I put limits, but I am a giving person, and I take a great amount of joy and pride in giving back. So I think that's another reason, you know, why I'm trying to push myself with these videos. I want you guys to see the progress I've made, because I want you to say, okay, do you know what, that's worked for him, maybe I'm going to try that. And if just one of you try it, and just one of you get results from that, and it makes your life more enriched, and makes you a person that can go on and achieve things that you didn't think you could achieve, simply not through training, but just from self-approval, self-confidence, self-awareness. You know, being aware that you are a capable human being, that we are all unique, we're all got our own attributes that are can productively make a difference to society, whether it be local or national, through whatever your endeavours are. You know, there's something you can give. You just got to start to believe in that. So then I got to thinking about, you know, there's a time, you know, I've started network marketing now, but I have the days where I have that doubt, you know, can I really do this? Is this task too big for me? And, you know, and it is a case of, like, you know, taking the first steps. You know, you need to get your points up, you need to get your sales, and it's about not looking at RVP, it's about looking at the next level, you know, team trainer, team leader, you know, going from them rather than trying to look at the big picture. Take small steps. And I think that's the same when it comes to sort of overcoming these anxieties and these fears and these doubts in yourself. It's about taking small steps, you know, not trying to, push yourself out of the comfort zone a little bit, like I have found that useful, but that was me. For you, it might be better for you to take slow steps, because what you don't want to do is go running in, so I'm going to do this, and then you get, you know, something doesn't go quite right, and then it backfires, and then you retreat, and you throw in the gloves, throw in the towel, sorry. So yeah, but I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, when did I last have that kind of fire in me? And it was when I was doing the kickboxing, I was in Muay Thai. It was that moment when you get in the ring, you've got fear. It's kind of a reverse thing. It was like you had fear and anxiety stepping into that ring, but once you got into that ring and the bell rang, focus, okay, and then, you know, something comes over you, and you know everything, you know, instinctively, you know how to respond to each reaction, whether it be defensive or attack response. You know, it's that fire and will to win. And I think, you know, I'm 35 now. I'm not really fit for purpose in that area. I could do it for joy, but I could never really step back in the ring. So for me, it's about transferring that skill. I had that skill set to put myself in the mindset where I had that fire in me, you know, where I had that passion in me, and taking it from that situation, using that skill to drive me forwards in my my journey to climb a ladder of the world of network marketing. So yeah, I mean, if any of you guys aren't really sure what it was I was talking about with the exercise, or you couldn't see what I was doing as well, or just need a bit more experience, just, you know, you don't have to put it on the page. Do what a lot of you guys have been doing. Just give me a private message through Facebook, or if you've got my WhatsApp number, message me through there. You know, and I'll happily talk through with you things that I've found beneficial to me. I think having someone to talk to who is going through what you've been going through anyway is a beneficial thing. So yeah, I hope this video has been of help. I hope I've not been waffling too much and going off to different tangents too much. I'm still working on that. I know I do it, but I'm informed of that quite regularly. So I'm going to end this video now, and I hope to hear from you guys. Hope I've helped in some way. Hope this is of interest to you guys, and take care, and post again soon. Bye.